I still don't know to what extent I need to be making these videos, but whatever. So anyway, today, well, not just today, but I've been thinking about some stuff, and we bought that debate on it today, which in reality it really won't be a debate because I'm talking to a camera and can't debate with a camera. But anyway, so here it goes. It's two theories. Theories are not necessarily provable, but there's strong evidence to suggest, unless you can win this debate and prove me wrong or prove otherwise. So here goes. First one, real simple. Both of these debate topics is or theories are on Adam and Eve. The first one is that Eve was clearly talking to a dragon in the Garden of Eden. It wasn't a snake, because becoming a snake was a punishment. It was talking to a serpent. She was talking to a serpent. That's what it's called. And dragons are also referred to as serpents. Now, why do I think this was a dragon? Because the punishment for this dragon was to have to crawl on his face forever. Right? So this was a punishment. It had to be a punishment. Like, what kind of punishment would God have to give a creature that it would regret having to crawl on his face? A lot of stuff crawls. A lot of stuff walk close to the ground. A lot of animals face close to the ground. It would have to be something that could fly. It would have to be a dragon. If you take an anaconda and you smack some wings and some four legs on it, you got a dragon. One of those old Chinese dragons. Okay. And so, is there anything that could suggest that she was talking to a dragon? Yes! Revelations. The dragon of old. If the dragon is old, it had to come from somewhere. And I say Eve was talking to a dragon. And that's where the dragon of old came from. Again, it's just a theory, and that's why this is a debate. But you tell me what you think. That's what I think. I think she was talking to a dragon. I had another theory, which I thought was like really funny, but I'm not gonna say it. Lord Jesus. Okay, so the second one is about Adam and Eve, and this one is actually really deep. This one is really deep. It's two-parted too. It's really deep. I don't know why I was thinking about Adam and Eve so tough. I guess because that's where everything started. But look though. I think that we need to give God a little bit more credit. And here's why. He said before the foundations of the earth was laid, he knew us. And he had an inheritance for us. He had everything set up for us. Right? So that would mean that when Adam and Eve was in the garden, he knew that they was gonna sin. I know I've been thinking about this. Like, I've been thinking, I mean, all I do is think, but I've been thinking about this so tough. He already knew they was gonna sin. He knew that they was gonna sin, and he had to let it happen. The Bible don't say that Adam and Eve was perfect or immortal. It said that they were good. If they were immortal, he wouldn't have had to kick them out of the garden and protect the tree of life. I think, again, it's just a theory. I think God, if you know God, you know God will allow you to go through some stuff to make you a better person. And I think that because we are his workmanship, that he let us go through all of this. He had to let us go through all of this so we could become the best versions of ourselves. He knew from the very jump, that all of this was going to happen. He knew Satan was trash from the jump. Satan had already been kicked out when Adam and Eve was in the garden. So he already knew all of that. How he making provisions for you from the foundation of the earth without knowing all that? He already knew all that. He had to let us go through all of this. He had to pick who was gonna make it and who. Everybody that came along wasn't gonna make it. We had to go through all of this. God will let you go through some stuff to make you a better version of yourself. God let humanity go through all this just so we could mature. Just so he could pick and choose his people. So he could have his people. So he could have his kingdom the way he wanted it. Even with the angels. He did the same thing. He's doing the same thing with the angels. Picking and choosing who gonna live in his kingdom. I mean, you making a choice, but you know, he letting everything play out. He letting everything play out. It had to be an end for Satan. And man had to mature. Adam and Eve didn't know. They didn't have any knowledge of good and evil. How could they be mature? How could they be perfect without knowing what evil was? They was like robots. They was like some little fairy tale robots. You don't mature like that. You don't. How do you fulfill? How do you have free will if you only know one side of it? You only know goodwill. If you only know goodwill, then you really don't have free will. And in order to make you perfect, I just think that he had it all figured out from the jump. And he let it happen. So that everybody can end up in that perfect spot. So that man could mature. All the evil we could do away with all of that. I just think we need to give God some credit. Like, if God is in control of everything, then how he wasn't in control in the garden? He was in control of that too. He let it happen. He let that happen so that we could become the best versions of ourselves. Everybody ain't gonna make it. We need to be happy that he picked and chose some of us, that he gave revelation knowledge to some of us, that the ones of us that is gonna make it is gonna make it, because he picked us, he chose us from the very beginning. He made us just the way we was gonna be. Yeah, so that's my little spiel. Because I was asking myself, I'm like, why he ain't? It just made sense. Like, I've been thinking about this for so long. Like, why he didn't stop the devil from tempting, like, after they had kids? They wasn't even mature. If he would have let them have children first, then the sinless child would have had a little chip on his shoulder. He couldn't let that happen. We all had to be in sin. We all had to be on an equal playing field so Jesus could come and fulfill his destiny. When all that stuff went down, God already had the answer. He spat that answer out like it wasn't nothing. He already had the answer. That was going on. God wasn't nowhere to be found. God wasn't nowhere to be found. He let that happen. Y'all, come on now. God is in control. We just playing it out. We just playing it out till we can get to heaven. I'm convinced. You can't tell me nothing different. Unless you can tell me something different. Because this is debate. So go ahead. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know. Let me know what you got to disprove my theory. I'm interested. Clearly, I don't have a lot of then, if God was in control, he could have just stopped them. He could have just stopped. So you think he didn't know what Satan was doing? Go ahead. He knows everything. Go ahead, baby. Go ahead. He had to let it all play out. That's why when the angels came and found out what Satan had did, he was like, no, we gotta let it play out. He told them that. He told them in the end we was gonna find out. We was gonna pick who for who and what for what and throw the bad stuff in the fire. He had it all planned out. I'm just saying. We need to give God some credit for knowing what he's doing. I don't know. I always have different perspectives. Yeah, but I'm about to go. I'm hungry. I gotta get me some food. Let me know what y'all think. Alright, bye. My bad. I said that second one was two-parted, and I only said one part. I think Adam and Eve went to hell. And I think they going to hell. I'm sorry. Because God was like, they would surely die. And they sinned. What y'all think? Y'all think they had to go to hell? Or y'all think Jesus paid the price for them too? That's a good topic to, that's a really good conversation to have. Like, I think they going to hell though, because they sinned. And it was like way before Jesus. Or did Jesus cover that? Oh, that's a good one. But if Jesus died for all man's sin, then they probably gonna be in heaven. So did he mean, what kind of death did God really mean though? Did he mean spiritual death? Did he mean, you know what I'm saying? Did he mean just physical death? What did he mean? That's a good one. That's a good one. What did he mean? What kind of death? I don't know, y'all. I say they going to hell. Ain't that just download me to just condemn them like that. But that's what I think. That's what I think. Again, it's just a theory. That's why it's a debate. Prove me wrong. Somebody prove me wrong. Alright, y'all. I'm on my way back home. I got my little food. Bye. Okay, so this is the last time I'm gonna come on for real. So I think he meant spiritual death. He said they would surely die. I think he meant spiritual death. Because the Bible never said Adam and Eve were intended to be immortal. If they had immortality, he wouldn't have had to hide the tree of life from them. Under any circumstance. But he hid the tree of life from them. So eventually, they would pass anyway. It just took a long time. But they were never intended to be cut off from God. Ha! Yeah! They were never intended to be cut off from God. Oh, I got too much time on my hands. They were never intended to be cut off from God. That's why he said they would surely die. A spiritual death. A spiritual death. So yeah, I think that if they would surely die a spiritual death, I don't know, they gonna make it in the pearly gates. What y'all think? That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, yeah. That's my little spiel. There's some good topics. Okay, so let me know what y'all think. Comment for real this time, dang. It'll let me know. Alright.